What's going on, everyone? So Scream 7 is still filming, and we've gotten some information on kind of the town and certain sets and stuff that the upcoming Scream 7 is going to have. And it looks like Scream 7 is set to take place in a town called Fallbrook. An Atlanta resident reportedly spotted a sign reading Fallbrook Mental Hospital around where the movie is being filmed. And then you see this, Fallbrook Psychiatric Hospital. So again, we're getting little tidbits, little things on just like various sets. There are rumors that have came out that this is going to be taking place in a different town from any of the other Scream movies. We know Sydney is in Seattle, so she's in like a small town in one of these places, like one of these off branches. Is it she's in her home and then ends up going and ended up leaving somewhere else, right? Because like, let's say Ghostface comes and attacks Sydney and her family. Is she just gonna like hang out at her house with all her kids, or is she gonna end up venturing out elsewhere? Is she gonna go somewhere else? Time will tell once we obviously get the movie, but I do think it's very fascinating and very interesting to see kind of this information, right? Like we got last or a couple years ago now, right? For Scream 6, we got the Blackburn sets, like, all the signs that were changed and stuff like that, and then you got to see the little the subway and the little entry point for that and all that stuff. So kind of cool that we're getting this. Now I want to dive into something in particular about this, but it could be potential spoilers. It's nothing like crazy. It's nothing that like would ruin the movie or anything like that for anybody. It's not like, oh, this is Ghostface or something like that. Just some information that had came out that now links and lines up with this that I wanted to dive into. But I know some people just don't want anything. They don't want to hear any type of potential spoilers or anything like that. So give everyone a chance to get out now while you can. On your way out, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. But 3, 2, 1. All right. So as you see here, Fallbrook Psychiatric Hospital, there were rumors that came out a little while ago that a psychiatric patient would escape a psychiatric hospital. So my guess is that it's this Fallbrook Psychiatric Hospital is where they are going to escape. I know, doing some real analysis here. But no, I mean, you got the rumor, right? Everything's a rumor until it happens. But now that you see the Fallbrook Psychiatric Hospital image that we got, the photos from it, I think that it's fair to say that that's probably something that's going to happen. So is the psychiatric patient, though, is it the killer? Is it somebody that, I imagine at bare minimum it's going to be a red herring, right? Like they get out. I hope it's not the killer route, right? Because I just think that that'd be way too predictable. I think it'd be cool if it was like a Sydney obsessed fan, right? Like somebody that is maybe locked up because they were obsessed with Sydney and maybe tried to attack Sydney at some point, right? Maybe not like from a killer standpoint, but just like was stalking her or something. I think that could be kind of interesting. Did she escape because of Ghostface? Right? Like, what better way to have a fall guy or a girl, whatever, because we don't know if it's a guy or a girl that gets out. It's just somebody it was listed as somebody in their middle-aged, right? Which makes you think of a certain Stu. Could it be Stu Macher? Possibly. But I hope that they're a little more creative than that. I like the idea of a character escaping a psych ward because of help from whoever Ghostface is in this, and they're the fall person. So they get out. Everyone thinks that they're Ghostface because as soon as they get out, all the Ghostface attacks start to happen. And so everyone's trying to track that person down. Really, it's not them. They were just kind of the fall person, so everyone would be distracted with that person. And then you find out, oh, no, it wasn't them all along. Maybe that person even dies at some point. And then it's like, oh, no, it's these people, right? Like, I hope that that's kind of the route they go because, like I said, I don't want the super obvious, okay, oh, it's really this. Like, I don't want any of that. I want them to be more creative, right? I just think, the typical movie trope is that it is a psych ward patient that somebody gets out and Now they're the psycho killer. Like, I'd prefer that not to be the case, right? I'd rather it be something to where they're just a red herring, or they're the fall person, but they really have no involvement. But because they escaped and everyone's just gonna blame them, that now they have to like kind of prove their innocence and stuff like that. Like, I think that would just be a much better approach, right? Maybe they even survive at the end. Maybe they weren't crazy. Maybe it was something that ties in, and it turned out that they're not off the rails, right? Like, but this also kind of feels in a lot of ways kind of like almost like a Cotton Weary type thing, right? Where Cotton gets out of prison, and it's just like, is he the killer? Is he not the killer? Like, what's going on? And then you have that moment where you're like, oh, it is him, right? And then turns out that no, it's not him. He actually helps save the day. I kind of like that idea with this, where you get somebody out. Maybe they know Sydney, they're familiar with Sydney. Like I said, maybe it was like an obsessed fan or something at some point, and it's kind of like you spend the whole movie thinking it's them and they're the killer, but ultimately they come and they're the hero at the end, or they end up helping save Sydney and help Sydney take out Ghostface in this round, right? Like, I think that would just be personally a much better approach, in my opinion. But regardless, we'll see how this all plays out. I just thought this was interesting when we saw the actual photos, and then lo and behold, it turns out that, like, oh yeah, we actually are getting something like this. So thought this was pretty cool. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you love this? Do you hate this? Do you kind of mixed in the middle? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it either way down in the comments below. Do you want to see something where you have this psychiatric patient that escapes, and do you want them to be the killer? Do you want them to be a red herring? Like, what do you want them to see on that front, from like a psychiatric patient? I hope that they are a little more creative, a little more well thought out in this movie. I'm sure that we're going to continue to get more details, more information as we continue filming and stuff like that. Obviously, we don't know who this character is. We haven't had the casting news or anything like that yet. There's still several characters that are in this film that they haven't casted yet, and we're constantly getting and seeing the casting calls, right, for like this character and that character and whatnot. And we're still getting, like, they just hired a new sheriff or a new deputy, and they're still working it all out on the actor side of things, and characters that they're going to integrate into this, which I think is great, right? Because it means that we're going to get a lot more characters than we originally thought we were going to get in this movie. And it's not going to be as tight as it looked. Still might be, though, right? Like, if you have a bunch of like random off characters, then yeah, really it's only going to be a handful of characters, but we'll see. Time will tell. Anyway, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it either way, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. We enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.